All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation. Once again, the administration of President Bola Tinubu has demonstrated that it is a government that listens. As such, the federal government has suspended the implementation of the 15% import duty earlier approved on imported premium motor spirits, PMS, popularly called petrol and diesel. This follows widespread concern that the policy could trigger fresh increase in fuel prices and worsen inflation. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority announced the suspension in a statement signed by its Director of Public Affairs, George Eneita. In a statement, the agency said the import duty implementation is no longer in view, adding that the country currently has adequate supplies of petroleum products sourced from local refineries and importation. BK, I'll start with you here. I mean, how will you describe the federal government's decision to halt the implementation of the 15% import duty on the two products, petrol and diesel?
I support it wholeheartedly. Anything that would lead to an increase in fuel prices, it makes no sense for government to do it. It makes absolutely no sense.
Okay. I think we're having network challenges with BKO, but talk to me.
Yeah, I think.
What's your reaction to it?
I think the initial intention was to ensure price equity between local products
and imported.
And also to protect foreign refineries. But I think that, if you look at if you weigh the options, I don't think on the long run it's going to be to the benefit of majority of Nigerians. Because there's no way you have that kind of 15% tariff that it will not affect the pump prices, probably to go up by about 100 to 200. And the other issue is that while we are talking about importing petroleum, we don't have enough. The local industries cannot produce enough of what we need.
For the entire
I think for now, we are not even producing up to 50% of what the country needs. Even Dangote still imports up to 10 million barrels of crude from the US every month. So we are not self-sufficient enough to be able to say that, okay, we want to bring tariff to ensure that people are discouraged, from importing from other parts of the country. Until we're able to have enough refineries, then we'll be thinking of discouraging people that are importing, fuel.
Okay.
Or crude.
I've just been told that BKO is back on. BKO, I need you to land on your thoughts.
Yes, I was saying that, look, the only way I will have supported it was if it wouldn't lead to higher fuel prices. Our people are going through enough already. We don't need anything that will trigger higher fuel prices. So if we couldn't give that guarantee that this 15% tariff won't lead to higher fuel prices, it's better you just leave Nigerians alone. I know that the whole idea is to stimulate local refining and all that, but we do not even have enough refineries at this time. So we need more refineries to be on stream. Bua's refinery in Akwa Ibom, the ones owned by the NNPC, if they are all working, then I can say this kind of decision will not hurt energy security in any way. Therefore, I will support it. But at this point, I think it's premature. And
Okay, I think we're still, the network is not, but the NMDPRA also said that the import duty implementation is no longer in view. So do you think this thing can still be implemented maybe later on, or we should just forget about it? The suspension is here to stay?
I think if you look at what Nigerians are going through now, anything that will be an extra burden should be avoided in the interest of national security, because when people have are passing through a lot of difficult times. What we should be thinking of is how to ameliorate their challenges.
Lessen their burdens.
The policy will no doubt add, to the afflictions of Nigerians. So it is not good for the government to implement it for national interest. And I also think that we should have long strategic plan. That Dangote refinery is big and all that, but it's not enough to meet our strategic national interest. And I'm happy that I understand there's a consortium that is also trying to set up a refinery in Ondo State. We expect it to be the second largest after Dangote.
Okay.
Because if you have only one refinery, there will be a kind of capitalist monopoly. An individual will be deciding, the price of his products. And I think that is not going to be of strategic national interest, to our country. So the more refineries we have, the better, so that there will be mutual competition. And that will force the price of petrol price to go down.
BKO, are you back with us? Okay, he's not there. Now, looking at this now, what signal does it send to domestic refineries, the domestic refining sector, particularly the Dangote refinery, now that this thing has been suspended?
Well, I think the landing cost for, imported fuel is about 802, which is cheaper.
Yes.
Then, I think the landing for Nigeria is about 900 and something naira. But I think that as far as Dangote cannot meet local demands, there will be the temptation to import. So we need to find a way to balance this challenge, so that if people are still importing products, we may not need to impose tariff on them. In order to have a situation where people will be able to afford, because there's no point, we are talking about, look at the pump price now, people are paying hell.
All right, just hold that thought. We have Friday calling in from Suleja. Friday, you have the floor.
Yes. All right, Shagun, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, greetings to your analysts in the house, too.
Thank you.
And Babajide. I greet you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
I would like to actually give my thoughts on the discussion that you just ended, which is on the confrontation between the FCT minister and the military man, the naval officer.
Okay.
Actually, Babajide is somebody I respect so much, and he actually has made me to be addicted to journalist Hangout because of his in-depth objectivity in analysis. But on that day, the previous day before now, when you asked him the position he took, I didn't quite like it, because he said, when you asked him directly that between the powers of the FCC minister and that of the military man, that which one surpasses it, he done it, and he boldly told us on national TV that he wanted to sympathize the naval officer. So, but today I'm happy now. I wouldn't dig into that more again, because he has taken a divergent position, and the position I had expected him to take. We have said it explicitly again, and that the Constitution surpasses every other power in the land. So I have forgiven him for that position he took that day. And then to the military persons, the naval officer that was there, I had expected that he would be disciplined seriously, because as far as I'm concerned, that's impunity of the highest order. Yeah. But it beats my imagination when Nigerians are beginning to take side with him just simply because they say maybe they don't like with him. The military men are acting ultra-vigorously. They are taking laws into their hands. Just imagine the last...
All right, thank you very much. Time is money. Time is money. But I need you to land on your thoughts.
Yeah, I think the tariff should be suspended, until we're able to stand on our feet, until we are able to build more refineries, and until we're able to stand at a point that, okay, we say we want to protect local refineries, from international competition that might undermine their growth. But for now, I think the suspension is the best thing.
It's the best thing.
Yes,
all right, gentlemen, we need to go straight into our next conversation, our final conversation.